My homeland is the wondrous story of a group of people who arrived here at the shores of Eretz Israel immediately following the Holocaust. They had a major impact on who we are and how we look like, and in many ways designed what now we define as being an Israeli. At the pivotal point of the creation of the State of Israel, Holocaust survivors were an integral part of the fighting force, and unfortunately also a major part of those who gave their life for the State of Israel. And thus the joy of celebrating the first Independence Day is well described by a Holocaust survivor artist by the name of Moshe Matarasso. Israeliness is not something we create in one day. It's rather being built layer after layer. Leah Gottlieb was the first one to have an export from Israel beyond the Jaffa oranges we all know. Then Rising Arrows created for us logos and advertisements. Altogether, this is what Israeliness looks like today.
יום של חול, עם בוקר כחול, בלי חג ומחול, בלי חצוצרות וטוב, כלום לא קרה.
To remember and not to forget was the motto of Holocaust survivors when arriving in Israel. They first engaged in writing the annals of the Jewish communities who ceased to exist after the Holocaust. And after a while, they sat down to write the personal annals, to tell their daughters, their children, their grandchildren, their personal stories. And thus, side by side, they lived a new life in Israel, never forgetting what happened to them during the Holocaust in Europe. Andy Warhol created for the American scene Campbell's soup. And here, we in Israel, have our resek avaniyot. It's the crushed tomatoes created by a Holocaust survivor, taking a typical Israeli and making him into the ultimate kibbutznik. Thus creating Israeliness becomes one way of uncoding what it means to be an Israeli. They aspired to become one, and at the same time created it for themselves and for us. Israel celebrated this year 60 years to its establishment, and with it, we celebrated having Holocaust survivors with us for 6 decades. 6 decades where they became part of Israeli society.
בליבי עכשיו, בתוך ליבי, כמו הרבה צללים, כמו הרבה שבילים, כמו עשן. היא רק שלי עכשיו, היא בחובי, כנוף הרבה עלים, כמי נהר כחולים, עכשיו היא כאן.
And now, not being young anymore, as we look and we see them in these photographs, we realize that they are us and we are them.
פתאום עכשיו, פתאום היום בליבי עכשיו, כמו השיר עולה היא מתוכי, עולה בכל כוחי, כמו השיר